From New York City, joining me is Majeed Gly, a Kurdish journalist and the United Nations Bureau Chief for Rodal and Media Network. Majeed, welcome to our program. How is this decision to pull U.S. troops out of northern Syria? Can you talk about how this is playing out in your community, in the Kurdish community?
Absolutely. Well, first, I want to start by saying this is from reporting from the ground. This is not a troop pullout or withdrawal. This is not a withdrawal. It's merely moving dozens of U.S. troops that they were between the Turks, the Turkish forces, and the Kurdish forces. They were preventing this conflict. They just moved them a few miles away. Not a single U.S. troop has been withdrawn, according to Pentagon, and this is one. And the reaction from the community is basically shocking. They are shocked. They feel they are betrayed, stabbed in the back, as a Kurdish official says. And these reactions that I'm hearing, like we were hearing in the last 48 hours or more since Sunday, now it's not about these. Now it's about pleading international community to help, because the bombardment that's ongoing as I am talking to you right now. I just saw a video as I was walking in of a house of a teacher in one of the towns that Turkey is bombing, that her body was obliterated. And you know, this area hasn't seen any of the Syrian more than 8 years civil war's horror. So this area has been relatively stable, peaceful, and what most of these residents are seeing in those Kurdish-controlled area is a horror of bombardment. The city of Qamishli, which is one of Syria's largest cities, is basically being emptied out, according to our reports, our team. We have reporters on the ground.
So, Majeed, let me interrupt you for 1 second. I just want to clarify something. So, from what you understand, U.S. troops are still in that border region. They have not left.
They are. So that border region, I just want to clarify that it's not that such a big area. So, like, it's a long border line, but it's when it's come to depth, it's not that deep. So those U.S. soldiers, they just basically moved away from the Turkish forces. Understood. And the opposition. Okay. They did not leave. Not a single U.S. soldier has left.
Well, they haven't left yet, but it's possible they would be on the move in the coming days and weeks. Let me ask you about all these ISIS prisoners that are being guarded by Kurdish fighters. What's going to happen to these captives? Who's going to look over them?
The answer for that question is, from both Kurdish officials and Americans, they don't know. That's a simple answer. The Kurds will likely lose control over that camp. I'm talking about big prison camps, thousands of ISIS fighters that the U.S. sees them as one of the most dangerous terrorist fighters, and they are some of them like tried to flee before. So the Kurds they likely lose control over these camps. They will. The Turkey, however, is now saying we cannot guarantee that we can, first of all, take them and capture them. So they are saying we will try to deal with the issue, but the problem is these prison camps, they are deep inside Syria. So the Turkish operation will not get there in maybe weeks or months.
That's certainly one of the big concerns, Majeed. And I have to ask about Turkey's position. They're saying these Kurdish fighters are linked to the outlawed PKK, which Turkey, of course, considers a terrorist organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Turkey considers PKK a terrorist organization. U.S. and most of the European countries, PKK is on a terror list. The YPG, those fighters that Turkey, the Kurdish fighters that are helping U.S. with the fight of ISIS, Turkey says these fighters are also members of or linked to PKK. So that is, they say, is our concern. However, what the Kurdish leaders in those areas say, they say this is not The main reason, the main motive of Turkey, of coming to that area, the main motive is, according to President Erdogan himself, here at the United Nations, he said, we will come into those areas and we will bring, take 2 to 3 million Syrian refugees that they already have it in Turkey, which is becoming a big domestic issue, and we will get them to that area. And the Kurds are saying, this is an attempt by Turkey to change the demography, to ethnically cleanse those areas, because most of those refugees are Arabs.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Certainly an important take, the Kurdish perspective from journalist Majeed Gly. Thank you so much.